Nayu Hazuki was a genius.
The winner of the 23rd Annual Elementary and Middle School International Programming Contest goes to Nayu Hazuki-san.
Yes, but I'm not too surprised that she won. I'm Nayu's childhood friend, Sota Aikawa. I was always so proud of all the incredible accomplishments that she achieved.
Sota, look! Come here, it's a trophy! See?
Ow, don't use the trophy as a weapon like that. Honestly, I was in middle school and my hormones were running wild. I wasn't sure about how to sort through my feelings and confused, but Nayu was always jumping onto me with little to no hesitation at all. Whatever the case, congratulations.
It's thanks to you, Sota.
I really haven't done anything, though.
You helped me out when I was getting really close to my submission deadlines. You even cooked for me. You remember that, right?
Oh, yeah, you really don't need to be thanking me for that. You were the one that worked hard, you know, but your parents should have come.
They're not really interested in anything to do with me, so...
Afterwards, she graduated middle school and started a smartphone application development company. She was written and talked about in the news as the youngest entrepreneur, so she just dropped out of school entirely.
Come on, the conference is just getting started.
Okay, I understand. Just go to the conference room first, ma'am. I'll meet you there. 11 years since she won that award, and that very same genius programmer has grown into a very famous female CEO that is making a name for herself in the business. I'm now her employee. She used to run the company all on her own, but she was always a very shy girl, so she slowly was unable to make things work. That's why she started considering hiring and taking on new employees. As for me, after I graduated college, I found a regular job at a regular company. I ended up pretty depressed, like a lot of other new grades, and was considering changing jobs. I was then invited by Nayu to work with her, which brings us to where we are now.
You really shouldn't be talking like that to the lovely CEO that gave you a job, should you?
You definitely wouldn't have been able to hire new employees without my help either. And seriously, you need to get off of me. We're at work. 3 years since I've been working for Nayu, and we have 16 employees at our company.
Ma'am, I would like to discuss the meeting plans with you, so could you please get off, Sota-kun?
Yeah.
The woman that just politely asked Nayu to get off of me was Asahi Kujo-san. She's the project manager, and she's my direct boss. Why is she my boss when she joined the office at a later date? Well, that's a great question. It's because I've never been a huge fan of ordering people around and managing them. I know that from experience. We decided to try to hire a good manager from outside, and that's how Kujo-san is working with us now. Thank you so much, Kujo-san. You really saved my hide.
You too.
Huh?
You really looked like you were totally fine with her being all stuck on you.
I don't think I looked that happy.
Whatever. So? Did you get the conference material ready?
That's totally fine. You really helped me out, so there's no problems there.
It was a great project. You've got to make sure you prepare everything perfectly so that it all works out.
I actually thought about canceling it at first, though.
Because the CEO made a face about it, right?
Yes, she didn't seem too on board with it. The plan that I suggested, support the shut-ins and kids who can't go to school, was met with a pretty harsh response by the CEO. This company provides AI tech to other corporations, but this would be our first venture into the educational field.
Just putting aside profitability for a second, it's a very good venture for society and you're a very skilled employee, so I think you should be more confident.
I'm glad that you'd be willing to say that about me.
What are you talking about? I'm not just complimenting you. I want you to really voice your opinion and not get affected so much by the CEO's opinion.
What a great boss. I wish the CEO would learn a thing or two from her. We finished up our meeting and were headed to the conference room when...
Oh,
What is that look?
you looked so happy to be complimented by your beautiful boss, huh?
It's literally just a small meeting with a boss and her employee. Don't be so stupid and come inside, ma'am. The Department of Education is also very on board with introducing digital textbooks into the classroom. That is it for my presentation. Thank you so much. All right, what do you think, ma'am? Your opinion?
I think it's fine.
Ma'am? That's it? Our CEO is a genius when it comes to programming. She's fairly good when it comes to business decisions as well. But when it comes to everything else, she's pretty horrible. What do you think, Vice President? I think it's all pretty good. It's not too complicated when it comes to the technical specs either. The vice president of the company is actually incredibly reliable. He went to grad school to study top-of-the-line AI tech. The CEO is pretty bad when it comes to handling things so realistically. This man is our boss. Why did he bother coming to this company again? What do you think, Kujo-san?
I think that if we proceed as outlined, then we should have no problems. I'm very glad that I could help out with this project. It was an extremely wonderful experience that I couldn't really have at my old company.
Kujo-san showed up at my office about half a year ago. The company that she worked at before was completely different from our company, but she's working hard and doing great things for us in our company too. The CEO was not very knowledgeable when it comes to how to run a company, so she probably doesn't understand how blessed she is to have such great employees.
I think that I would like to continue my work with him to make sure this project is successful.
All right, this conference is over. I want to talk about moving an employee to a different department.
Ma'am, I don't know if we're able to discuss HR matters like that so publicly.
It's fine. We haven't decided any of the fine print stuff yet, you know? I'm gonna be more busy moving forward, so I was really hoping that I'd get a secretary.
That came out of the blue. A secretary?
Now that we've figured out where we're headed for this project, so I want Aikawa-kun to be my secretary.
Huh?
Hang on just a second. I don't think I can continue this project without Aikawa-kun working with me.
What? There are other engineers other than Aikawa-kun.
Were you listening to anything I said in the conference just a second ago? I can't just let the person who came up with the idea leave the project.
By the way, these two argue fairly often. But I can tell that Kujo-san is much more upset than she normally is. I should probably stop them, huh? Kujo-san.
If it's a task that only Aikawa can do, then it's a big problem, huh? What's going to happen if Aikawa gets sick?
Ma'am, we're in the middle of a conference. Why don't we just...
If you want to argue with that logic, then how about you just hire another secretary? Besides, do you even need a secretary? Everyone is incredibly busy. Do we all get a secretary?
This is not good. I can't stop this all on my own. I need to ask everyone else for help so that... All right, let's go grab some drinks, huh? Yeah, that sounds great. Aikawa-kun, the rest is up to you, buddy. Wait!
An hour later,
You're actually after Sota, aren't you? You're the one using your position to get what you want. Don't do the same thing to me.
You guys are seriously continuing to act this way without slowing down at all? Everyone else is probably having a great time drinking right now. I honestly want to go grab a drink or two too, but I'm in the middle of these two right now, so I can't just leave. I really wish these two would just calm down and stop arguing, but...
Just so you know, Sota is going to marry me.
What is she talking about right now?
No, I'm not going to allow that.
What kind of authority do you have to say that?
It's not about authority. Getting married right now has no benefit to either of you at all.
It is beneficial too.
Ugh, if you're not going to listen to me at all,
Kujo-san, please calm down.
I'm going to marry Aikawa-san then.
Kujo-san?
Huh? I knew you were after Sora.
That's because you're treating Aikawa-kun like he's some kind of object that is to be owned.
I did not say that at all. Yes, you did.
Should I maybe try to find another job?
What, are you not satisfied with me or something, Aikawa-kun?
I didn't say that. Why are you talking about getting married to me too, Kujo-san?
So you are unsatisfied with me.
Note to self, do not let her drink. I managed to get them to stop arguing with each other and drag them both to go out for drinks, but this is the only thing that she's been saying since we've come to the bar. As for Nayu, she's knocked out in the corner over there. She's not very good with alcohol.
Whatever. We can put the marriage thing on pause for now, but it is not in either of your best interests to leave you two just constantly stuck to each other.
I'll be sure that she needs to sharpen up as a CEO and an adult.
It's your problem too.
Me?
You know, that project that you're suggesting is seriously incredibly groundbreaking, right?
Thank you? Huh? Is she not about to chew me out?
You realized that you were going to cancel the project just because the CEO wasn't too keen on pushing this project forward?
I mean, she's normally pretty spot on when it comes to things with work, you know?
Just because she's a genius doesn't mean that everything she says is always right. You normally spoil her like she's some kind of child, but you treat her like some kind of god or something when it comes to work.
You really think so?
It's fine that you two get along in private, but at work, you really should be putting some distance between yourselves.
Is that what it looks like when someone else is watching us? Whatever the case, I can tell that Kujo-san really is trying to look out for me. Kujo-san, thank you so much for worrying about me. I was really worried about everything when you started mentioning marriage.
Am I not good enough for you?
Please, drink some water.
I met Nayu when I was in the 3rd grade. I was completely different from how I am now and was pretty much just a delinquent and a little wild, you know. The reason was because of my brother, who was 3 years older than me, and regularly threw the ball over 110 kph. Every time we went to see his games, my mother was full of excitement and joy.
Another strike! He's really something else, your brother.
I feel bad for his opponents. Are you not going to play baseball anymore, Soda? No, I'm not. He was very good at his studies and very likable. I was always reminded of how I was less than incredible, and I didn't want to see that in baseball, too. My mother's words stung more than she ever knew. The first time I saw Nayu was when I went to a newly built library in our area. She was around the same age and curled up into a ball. I had to say something to her. Are you okay? My stomach.
I'm gonna go get someone real quick.
Hungry.
Huh? I went and bought some rice balls from the store for her. She began eating it like she'd just been stuck in the mountains for a month. You've got all that money. Why don't you just go shopping on your own?
I've never gone shopping on my own before.
How old are you?
I'm 8 years old.
We're the same age. I definitely thought that you'd be younger than me. What are you doing on the computer?
I'm debugging. It didn't go well after I compiled it, so I was looking at the source code.
What? In other words, there was a problem with the program and she was fixing it. I didn't understand what was going on at all, but... Programming, huh? What are you making?
A game.
What kind of game?
This.
Whoa, what is this? I figured it would be some dots and sticks, but it was a pretty realistic 3D game. You moved forward on a little board and you had to solve puzzles based on the tile you landed on.
Wanna try it?
Really? Yeah, I want to try. Then we started talking to each other more often. We used to meet up at the library for a while, but slowly she started coming over to my house more often.
Welcome home! Let's play games, Sora!
I'm gonna put my bag down, so hang on a sec. After I got home from school, Nayu welcomed me. We went to the same school, but I almost never met her on campus. Nayu seemed to be skipping fairly often. After my mom found out about that, she slowly started spoiling her.
Nayu-chan, did you want to have dinner here tonight? Yeah! Oh, Sora! My game is almost done, so how much do you think I should set the price at?
Huh? You're going to sell it?
Isn't that something else?
I can't believe that an elementary schooler is making games that are good enough to be sold.
Right?
Yeah, amazing if you ignore all the cookies that are around her mouth. She was someone whose only skill was programming. She was actually someone that was above and beyond my brother. She wasn't like my brother. She basically couldn't survive without me. Looking after her didn't feel like a pain at all. If anything, I felt like I wanted to take better care of her. Because...
Look, you're all clean now. Thank you. Oh, hey, my clothes are dirty too.
I'm just a simple guy and I can still help a genius out. I think that this genius wouldn't be able to do anything without someone like me. That fact alone basically built up my pride.
Hey. Hey! You were knocked out cold at the bar. You should wake up already.
I might wake up if you carry me to bed.
It wasn't a pain to look after a genius, I think. After the party, I ended up having to take her back to her place as expected. Your house is such a mess again. How hard do you think it was for me to clean up before...
It's fine. Once we get married, you'll always clean up for me.
Are you trying to make me your butler or something?
I'll take good care of you.
I don't know how serious you are when you're talking about marriage. Huh? Hey, Nayu, your PC is left on.
I'm someone that likes to leave it on. It's annoying to turn it off all the time.
You're such a slob.
Hey, my stomach kinda hurts. Sora, did I eat too much, do you think?
Are you gonna study abroad?
Oh,
I saw that there was information on entrance exams going overseas on Nayu's PC. This is that college that's supposed to be on the cutting edge when it comes to AI tech.
Yeah, it's where our vice president went too. I talked to him about it and it seemed interesting. I figured I'd kind of have a whirl.
Are you gonna go?
No way! I'm the CEO. I can't just leave the company alone.
But realistically, the vice president is the person that's running everything.
Right, but then you'd be all right with me going overseas?
That's... Of course I wouldn't be okay with it.
Huh?
You need me to do laundry and clean and cook for you. If you go overseas and live on your own, you're gonna struggle and you're gonna struggle hard.
Right? I need you to actually survive, Sora.
Right. So you really shouldn't be pushing yourself to go overseas.
Yeah, I think you're right.
1 month later.
I think that we really need to redo the UI for the digital textbooks.
Yeah, it needs to be more specialized for kids who aren't able to go to school.
Kujo-san and I were away on a business trip to the countryside. It was for the project that we had that whole conference on. I thought it was going well, but we suddenly realized we hit a wall. We had a specific shut-in child that was testing our material and wasn't interested in the material at all.
We've got to go back and hold a conference right away. I'm so tired. I'm gonna grab a drink at the bar.
You want a drink? I recalled the nightmare that was the drinking party from before.
Don't be so alarmed. I'm not gonna drink so much today. So this has all kind of got brushed under the rug before, but are you really considering going out with the CEO or something, Aikawa-kun?
I really don't think that she can survive without me being around her.
You know, my mom was a pretty tough person. When I was in the first grade, she forced me to cook and clean all on my own. My mom believed that independence is the most important thing that you could possibly have. Ignoring the fact that she was too strict, I really did think that she wasn't wrong when it came to that idea. That's why I was unable to really rely on people at all.
I think that if you're as good as you are, then you really don't need to rely on people much at all, right?
Aikawa-kun, do you remember when I joined this company? I think that these are all the corrections for the roadmap. Do you have an opinion?
Can I say one thing?
I thought to myself, oh, here we go. There's no way that some systems engineer or programmer would quietly obey a new woman who came from some different company. Go for it. I answered, trying my best to put on a poker face, but I was incredibly worried.
Is there anything that you can refer me to? It's such an incredible roadmap that I was curious.
Huh? Are you complimenting me right now? I used this book. I referred to these pages. I'll lend it to you, so go for it.
Really? Thank you so much.
You used to be a manager of a team before I showed up, right?
Yes, I'm glad that I'm just a regular old systems engineer again.
That's it? You aren't upset with the fact that some random woman showed up and took your position? I mean, maybe that's normal for someone in a technical position like him. I was just about to tell myself that that's all it was, but Aikawa-kun really was a strange one.
Kujo-san, I have something that I want to talk to you about.
Sure, I'm a boss, but he started relying on me even though I was basically a newbie. He immediately accepted me, and I was really happy about that. But on the other hand, I got very worried about him. Aikawa-kun, I think you can do this. You should think a little bit more about this. And right after I warned him, I completely made a mistake on my job and ended up eating my own words. I'm sorry, it's completely my fault for not thinking enough about the UI and ease of access. The system that I planned and designed was heavy on the functionality, so it became exceedingly difficult to actually put to use. I should have listened to your opinion way more, Aikawa-kun.
I mean, to be fair, the clients were asking for something that was almost impossible to actually do.
He could have gotten mad at me. That actually would have made me feel a little better. Instead, he acted perfectly fine and continued to fix the issues, and I just couldn't help but wish he got mad at me. Please let me repay you for...
Oh, it's just work. You probably have a lot on your plate, what with the new office and all, so just talk to me if you want help. Not sure what I can do, but I'll do my best.
Thank you. Honestly, at first I just couldn't accept what he was saying. How could someone as unreliable as Aikawa-kun actually help me? Afterwards, I continued to watch how he worked because I got curious, but...
Hey, can you help me out, please? I'm debugging this, but I just can't seem to figure it out. Where?
I only ever saw where Aikawa-kun would rely on me. I didn't notice where his coworkers relied on him. I started realizing that the idea of having to do everything on my own wasn't exactly the concrete foolproof idea that I thought it was. Aikawa-kun, there's something I want to ask you about. Do you have a sec?
What is it?
Slowly but surely, I started counting more and more on Aikawa-kun and my other coworkers. Then...
We're done with the inspections. The clients seem satisfied with the product.
Great! I started to feel a sense of satisfaction that I definitely couldn't experience at my old office. I think that if I didn't have the opportunity to work with you, then I would have kept a lot to myself.
I'm glad that I could be of service.
I really am grateful towards you, so I don't want to say this, but I was on one side of the extreme and you're on the other side.
Are you saying I count on people too much?
I think that's not a problem, but you base your own value too much on other people's opinions and perceived value of you. You don't ever actually admit that you're a very good person and that you're worth a lot. You only maintain self-worth if it's others that see value in you. At least that's what I see.
That's not...
Especially towards the CEO. I heard, the CEO wants to go overseas and study, right? Sounds like it's a perfect opportunity. The vice president is very good at his job, so I'm sure that we'll be able to handle it for the time being as long as we prepare for her absence.
I mean, I agree, but...
Then what's the matter? Just let her go.
But we've been doing everything perfectly fine as is. There's no reason that we have to chase her out of the company.
That's why you can never hold your own opinion against the CEO. It's because you think that your own ideas and values are not as strong as her opinions and ideas. Am I wrong?
Not at all. There's not a single thing that I can say back to that.
And chase her out? That's not at all what I want to do. I'm just saying.
Hang on a second, I just got a text from the office. I checked the phone to see who the hell texted me at this worst possible time, and... Kujo-san! Nayu seems to have been carried to the hospital.
What did the doctors say?
They're admitting her to the hospital just in case. She seemed to be in quite a bit of pain. We immediately rushed back from our business trip and headed to the hospital. We talked to the doctors to have them explain what had happened. She's going to be seeing a psychiatrist. There's nothing physically wrong, so we think that she has something going on mentally that was causing the abdominal cramps. Stress, for example. Stress? Her? I don't know if I'm in any position to say this, but I really don't see her having any stress. It's pretty common for someone to be holding something in, even if they present themselves as perfectly fine. They try to act all happy and fine and try to hold back whatever they actually want to do. Hold back what they want to do? No, she just said that she wanted to have a secretary the other day. I'm sure if she's got something she wants to do, she would just tell me.
Right, but then you'd be alright with me going overseas?
Study? Abroad?
I see.
I didn't really hear her out. I just told her that there was no way that she could possibly do it.
Okay.
It's just like you said, Kujo-san. Or, actually, maybe it's worse than that.
What do you mean?
I just always took care of her and made her someone who can't function. But that isn't the only problem. The problem is why I did it. I have an older brother that is incredibly good at everything, and I've always felt inferior to him in everything I did. I just wanted to get rid of that inferiority. I thought that if I took care of a genius programmer, then somehow that would lead to my own value too. That's why I made sure to corner her. She wanted to go overseas, but I was just being overly possessive of her without thinking about it. I made her hold back so much that she had to come to the hospital due to cramps. I'm literally the worst.
I don't think that they were able to say that that was definitively the reason for her pains.
But even then, she never wanted to go to school, and she finally showed interest, but what did I do? I chased her away. I didn't want her to go away.
I understand the situation now, but Aikawa-kun, you have to listen to me.
What is it?
I know that I said you two should be separated a little bit more, but I don't think that you didn't take great care of her at all.
You think so?
You need to be more confident. Yes, your brother may have been very good at what he did, but do you think that your brother can do what you do? No matter what your motivation was, the CEO and everyone else in the office count on you and really admire you. That's just a fact. I don't think anyone other than you is able to do that. At least I wasn't able to do that.
Kujo-san. If I say that Kujo-san only feels that way because she's kind, I feel like I'm gonna be chewed out by her.
But, you know,
Yes?
I think that you should spend a little time apart for now.
Was this building beat up?
I mean, it's been almost 20 years, so I think that's pretty normal. 1 week later, I was at the library where I met Nayu for the first time. Nayu's psych eval said that she had IBS. They don't know the specifics of why her stomach hurts so bad, but they think that there's a good chance that it's stress. Why are you smirking like that?
There's something important you want to talk to me about, huh?
I mean,
Okay, go for it.
okay. I'm gonna get nervous when you start acting like that. I think that you should go and study abroad.
Huh?
You want to go, right? You should just prepare everything before you leave, and we should be fine as long as... Hello?
Sota, you're not going to propose to me?
I guess thinking back now, it wouldn't be too insane to have that happen, huh?
You messed with a girl's heart. Why did we even come to the library to begin with anyway?
Because it's an important conversation.
There's nothing more important than a proposal. First, you should just propose to me and call it a day.
So, you're totally fine with being proposed to, huh? Okay, well, if you go overseas, maybe I'll propose to you. All right, I shut her up. I've always thought that you were really cute,
Right.
but I never thought that we should date or anything.
Why?
Because we grew up more as brother and sister, but I think I realized that our relationship was a lot more twisted and strange. I realized that I was dealing with you because I wanted to make myself forget about how I was feeling inferior to my older brother. If I took care of you, I thought that I would be more valuable somehow.
Sota.
You probably tried to make up for the fact that you couldn't get attention from your parents by hanging around me all the time, right? I'm not blaming you or anything, but I think both of us need to become more independent.
That's why I need to go to study abroad?
That's what I'm saying. Nayu suddenly got all quiet. After about 10 minutes, she finally started talking.
Sota, you should come with me.
That doesn't really solve anything, though.
No, I don't want to be separated from you. Are you okay with that? Are you saying that you'd be totally fine without me?
Of course not, but continuing to be with you, do you really think that it's the best thing for us?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. But I do know for a fact that I don't want to see you in the hospital anymore.
Sota.
I like you. So, both of us need to become good, independent adults that don't need to count so much on the other person before we get back together.
I feel like you're going to forget about me if I get separated from you.
I won't forget about you. I know that maybe this sounds tough, but it's been 17 years since we've met. I think that if we were only depending on each other, we wouldn't have lasted that long. We'll be fine. You should go study abroad.
Okay.
I see. She decided to study abroad.
I went into work the next day and saw that Kujo-san was at work alone, so I decided to tell her everything that we talked about together.
So, when are you two gonna get married?
I said that I'd talk to her about it once she gets back from studying abroad.
I wonder if she'll actually wait till she comes back, huh?
What?
She might actually find a good-looking man abroad, you know. I'm joking. Don't take it so seriously.
Please stop joking around like that. I really don't think that's funny.
Relax. If you're ever rejected or dumped, I'll take you.
I said stop joking. And also, thank you so much. I think that if you hadn't kicked me in the butt, then I would probably be in the same boat as before.
You're welcome. I wasn't really joking about that last thing, though.
Half a year later, it was finally the day that Nayu would be heading out.
I swear I'll come back as a really mature and amazing adult, so you better not cheat on me, huh?
I won't.
Especially not with Kujo-san.
What does Kujo-san have to do with anything? It's not like she likes me.
Yeah, this is exactly why I'm so worried about leaving you all alone here. I'll call you every day.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures every day.
Yeah.
I'll be following your GPS every day to keep an eye out on you.
Stop.
Why? If you've got nothing to hide, then it should be fine.
I don't care. I don't like it. It's weird.
Also, you better keep liking me.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me.
Hey, Aikawa-kun, about these documents.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna hang out for a second, huh? Yeah.
Oh, about the graph on these documents?
Oh, another call. Hang on a second. What is it? Huh? I haven't told you that I like you today? I literally texted you that this morning. You want to hear me say it and not over text. Sorry, we were in the middle of our conversation. So what is it?
I feel like you two are somehow even more over-reliant on each other.